So to start off, it usually takes a few years to break down a teacher's will. So I'm curious, like what was the? Because I feel like we're all very idealistic going into our first gig. Like, do you, if you don't mind sharing, and I don't want to like you to trip yourself
Oh,
up or anything here, but
yeah,
like in those, like was anything specific said to you that just like sticks in your brain? I was like,
uh,
what the, like what? Where is this coming from?
I think the very first one where like there was quite a lot. Like I had something like five lesson observations in the first week. In the first 3 weeks.
Wow.
We had 2 book scrutinies, which was funny because he ordered these special books with the school's logo on, and they didn't
Okay.
come till a week and a half in.
Of
And he
course.
still, in 3 weeks, the books weren't there for a week and a half, and we still had 2 book scrutinies, like for a week and a half's work.
So what is a book scrutiny?
So,
Like
like,
a like an analysis kind of thing?
yeah, so they'll
Okay.
take the books and they'll look and make sure that the kids' work is up to standard. So
Oh
they will go
wow.
but more than just like the work they're doing. So like as well, it will be, are they putting the date in the right place? Are they underlining
Okay.
it? Are they keeping the book to the correct standard? And it was like 5 lesson observations, two like book scrutinies where they're diving into it in the first 3 weeks,
That's
like,
funny.
which was insane.
Like I don't even know these kids yet, like let alone trying to. Mr. Clark After Dark is brought to you by Luxy. That's Luxy. Luxy is the standard for modern dating as it gives you a greater understanding of a potential match's intentions and background before you make your move. Swiping endlessly on other dating apps can be exhausting and often leaves you with only the leftovers in your dating pool. Luxy is an exclusive platform with just a 10 to 15% acceptance rate, as well as a profile and income verification feature, so you can be confident you're only connecting with those who meet your high standards. Their community guidelines emphasize safety, trust, and quality by strictly prohibiting scams, explicit content, and harassment. 2025 is your year to stop settling. With Luxy, there is no luck involved, just real connections with people who truly match what it is you are looking for. Download the Luxy app today to see if you qualify for a better chance of finding the right person for you. And now, back to the show. To evaluate me on 5 different things, that's kind of wild.
But yeah, but the one which I always remember, the first one where I was like, oh, I've made a mistake here, was so brand new set of teachers, and we're all sitting there, and we had to go in the day before school started for like a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether you have them over there, but we have like teaching assistants. So we have someone who'll
TAs,
be in the classroom, TA. And so it was only the teachers in, and he went on about a 5-minute monologue about how he thought teaching assistants were paid too much. Now, I don't know what they're paid where you are, but they are not paid hardly anything here. Like, they're massively underpaid. But he went on a rant about how they're paid too much, how in the borough we were in, they had a really good union, so they always got a good pay rise, which was like 1%, so it wasn't a good pay rise. But he was like explaining how he thought like it was disgusting, and we're newly qualified teachers, some of us, and some of them, and this is his words, man, some of them who are only TAs will be getting more than you, and I think that's disgusting, and if I could, I'd get rid of them. And I was sitting there, and then he said, what you need to remember is it's us versus them. And I thought, what is going on?
Just the staff meeting battle cry. That's a
Yeah, it was like, we've got to stick together, we've got to do this. And when I look back on it later on, I was like, oh, like the reason he didn't like the TAs was because they were all there before him. They were settled, and we're kind of like, I think for teachers, you travel quite far. You can travel quite far for your job, can't you? A TA won't. It'll normally be like, I don't know what it's like where you are, but in Britain, it will normally be like, say, like a mum of someone or someone who lives in the local area who like it's an easy job for them to like get to and be
Yeah, you
part
can get
of.
into the school for a decent job,
Yeah,
union, like protection. Yep.
they've been there like 10, 15 years. They're not going to just go
Yep.
because they know they can outlast him and stuff like that. So I think he was quite threatened by them. So he wanted like this brand new wave of teachers in. And he was like, right, it used to be all the teachers and TAs against me because he was like not far off the devil. But
Yep.
like, I think it was like, but I can get all these teachers, and then I've got backing. But like after a week, I think everyone was like, "Oh my god, like he's awful."
Now we know why people are off to better things. Like, it's now that you're kind of out of teaching, like how is your perspective on the burnout teachers face
Yeah,
changed? Like, I guess like that's a common buzzword, and no one, it's obvious to me that if you're going through a 6 month period of teaching and you're not working out, you're going to feel better if you are working out. Like, that's a simple change, right? But I guess what do your kind of teachers that are still working out all the time kind of still struggling with? Like, what are you still kind of seeing?
yeah. I think the biggest one for me is when it comes to it, knowing that like with teaching, it's very like the two biggest problems. It's very people pleasing. Like
Yeah.
that's why most teachers get in the job. We want to be people pleasers, and
We're
there's nothing
agreeable
wrong with
people.
being
We're
it.
like, yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
there's nothing wrong with it, but it's
Yeah.
almost recognizing it and going, I know I'm a people pleaser, so I need to put boundaries in
Hmm.
to stop myself from becoming overworked. I think
Hmm.
that's one big aspect of it. And then the other aspect of it with teaching, which is, I always think it's ironic because it's one of the only jobs where there's no way you could do it, but they want everything to be perfect. And that transfers to like
Yeah.
day to day life as well. Like
Hmm.
I ate a chocolate bar today, so that means the diet's ruined, and
So
I
that
will
means
get
I
a
hate
takeaway.
myself now. Everything is ruined.
Yeah,
Like,
I will get a takeaway every single night. And you're like, no, you don't. Like the chocolate bar wasn't the
yeah.
problem. Like it's
Yeah.
200 calories. It's not that
Yeah.
big of a deal.
Yeah.
No, I ate a chocolate bar. It's still under calories, yeah, but I ate a chocolate bar. And you're like, no,
Hmm.
it's fine. And I think that's the big thing whenever I work with someone. It's that chatting and talking. Like
Yeah.
even though we do a weekly check-in, I will chat to most people most days, either whether they're celebrating wins with me or they're just like
Yeah.
getting stuff off the chest, whether that's to do with the food, the
Yeah.
training, or even school. Because I think up in our heads, we're our own worst enemy. We're our
Yeah.
own worst enemy. 80% of our thoughts are negative. And again, that's not a bad thing. Like
Hmm.
negative thoughts can actually be quite like useful. It's just no
Yeah.
one really talks about like if you didn't have negative thoughts in your head, you would walk outside, you'd walk straight into the road, and you'd get run over. But the negative thought says, "Don't walk out in the road; that car will run you over." You know,
Hmm.
it's back in the wild. When we visit, don't eat those berries; they will poison you. Do you know? There's all those
Like,
things.
no, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah. So the negative thoughts, it's about like getting the thoughts sometimes out of your head.
Hmm.
And the best way to do that is to talk. Like, and I always find the teachers I work with, quite a lot of the times, they'll tell me about a problem or something that's going on in their head. And by the time they've sent me the voice note or text, they'll send me a message after it going, actually, just even saying that out loud, like, yeah, I don't need to worry about that.
Hmm.
Do you know, and it's those little things. And that's what I think is big in teaching. Like, day to day, actually, when you think about fitness and training, teachers should be the most successful people at it because the two big
Yeah.
things are prepping stuff and planning
Hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. And teaching is one of the only jobs where like you have to do that. Most people just rock up
Yeah.
at their job and go, okay, what have we got to do today? We got to do this. Teaching is like, right, let's sit down this weekend and think, right, am I doing this? Am I doing that? Am I doing that? Right. Sit, just do it with your food and training. That's the
Hmm.
easy part. The hard part is then something will happen during the week, which means you couldn't go on Tuesday. And the simple answer is, okay, well, can I go Wednesday? Yeah.
Yeah.
But people get into their head, well, I feel like a complete failure because I haven't gone on the day I said I was going, and then it spirals.
And I feel like you're actually like finalizing my internal dialogue right now because like I'll like full disclosure, like I just moved here and like I finally have my wife and I have our first home and I got a squat rack in my garage. Like everything is in there for me, but I'm like, oh, I'll work out tonight and I don't. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, now I hate myself. Everything's ruined. Like I'll never work out again. So it's like, and I think because we have to prep and plan for every day. So like the one day you don't do it, it's like that. It's also like now we're not just a failure of being fit. We're just a failure as an employee because I didn't do the thing I planned to do. It's almost like this weird full on self
Oh,
attack, which is very strange.
100%. And that's why I think like just chatting and talking is the biggest one. Because
Yeah.
the minute you'd say that out loud, as you said, you
Yeah.
say, that's strange, that doesn't mean anything, you know, but we just build it all up in our heads. And like
Yeah.
a perfect example of it I always remember is when I was teaching, um, we always like, after the nightmare school, found the school absolutely loved to stay there for like a decade. And I was just in that school. But one thing was we would have a staff meeting on a Monday, and it was always meant to go till 4:30, but it
Yeah.
never finished at 4:30. It was always like 5, 5:30, which then meant I would get caught on the traffic on the way home. So where I would
Yeah.
normally get in for like 5 o'clock at the latest, I was getting in on a Monday for like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I couldn't go to the gym because I'd lost like 3 hours where I normally get everything
Yeah.
ready. And then I feel like a bit of a failure and it'd spiral and stuff like that. And I just thought one day, why don't I just not go to the gym on a Monday? Why don't I just start by saying, like I will go on Tuesday? And I used to tell
Yeah.
myself instead, I'd like to train Monday to Friday and I take the weekend to like rest. I
Yeah.
went to like, right, I will either train on a Saturday or a Sunday, depending on what I've got on, and start my week then,
Yeah.
and then I'll carry it on. And that to me was like a big one. Like just that little mindset shift of like, this is the way I'm going
Yeah.
to plan it. I'm going to keep it around me, and then just having that lenience with it. But that's the biggest one for me. Like in teaching, the food, the training, and everything like that isn't a problem. The biggest thing is getting like out your own head. And I think what like a big thing in teaching to hit on there is like, let's be honest, like teaching is super tiring and it takes a
Yeah.
lot of energy.
Mhm.
It's not physical though, is it? Like it's not
No, it's just
physically
all
tiring.
up there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's emotional, it's stimulating rest we need, it's like it's mental fatigue that we get. It's all the other types of it. So when you actually think about it, you going to go to bed early is not going to do anything because you aren't actually physically tired. You
yeah.
need to sit on the couch and watch Netflix. You need
Yeah.
to go and train in the gym. You need to have some complete shut off from your phone and maybe
Yeah.
read a book because all these things are actually restoring your energy. And that's the big
Yeah.
thing where you're taking that time, switching off and saying, I'm not doing anything tonight. You're giving yourself that permission to like restore it back.
Yeah. And I noticed something you posted recently. It was like, I just get home and flop. Like, why is that for to me? Something like I have a different role this year where I'm like kind of in a resource support role. So it's not as demanding from like a
Yeah.
day-to-day class perspective. And I'll be honest, my brain feels completely different. Like I'm
Yeah.
just not in that same like chaotic routine. Like I have a bit more flexibility and freedom with the way I can schedule myself, which is awesome. Still not working out all the time though. But even so, like I'm a huge believer, and I'm gonna give some bro psychology here of like the mirror neurons. Like you kind of your mood is influenced based off like the like energy that you're getting from the people you're talking to. I don't know
Yeah.
how like I just remember I read that term in, like Bessel von Kolk's book of The Body Keeps the Score. So I'm not just making things up. But it's like sometimes, for example, like my wife will get home and she's in a great mood, but I'm not in a great mood, and
Yeah.
like our moods will balance out. So it's almost like when you're kind of working with exhausted, burnt out people all the time, like that's going to have like another kind of compounding effect on that. But I guess that to me kind of helps explain like when you get home, just the brain shut off time. It's like you're recalibrating. But I guess what would you say is the common thread that your unsuccessful clients have in common?
Unsuccessful.
Yeah, meaning like they'll work with you, maybe they try it. Because I think some of the things you're saying is like, and some of the teachers that I know of that stick with a fitness routine, it's usually some sort of community thing. Like
Yeah.
they'll go out to spin class together, or they'll go out to like a CrossFit gym with like 7 or 8 of their friends. And I do feel like women are more inclined to do that. I think men are
Yeah.
almost like, no, I'm gonna work it by myself because I need to like look, yeah, I don't know, like be tough. I don't know what it is, but that's something I've noticed. So I guess like, what are some of the, I guess, most challenging maybe clients you've had of like the themes that make them unsuccessful, if nothing else that we've discussed already, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
no, I think the biggest one, funny enough, we have discussed it like on the opposite way, I'd say. Biggest one
Yeah.
for me, the biggest success when people are successful, it's linked to how much we talk. And
Mhm.
that's the biggest one with it because I'm a big believer, especially these days with all the AI and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You don't need someone to make you a gym plan. You don't need
Yeah,
someone to explain how exercise works. You don't
that's
need
true. Never
someone
thought
to
about it. Yeah.
explain your food or what calories you should be on. But you need someone to help you like actually get out of your own head
Yeah.
and make it easy for you so that you don't have to think about it. And the
Yeah.
biggest thing for me is when we start, they get set up and I do all that stuff for them and get it planned out like, right, this is what you're going to do.
Mhm.
Chat and talk that way. But then they have me on WhatsApp and then we message as much as they want. Do you know? And
Yeah.
it's that thing about the more they're chatting, the more they're talking, the better results they get. The ones who are reflecting every day, the ones who are like I'm talking about there, what I used to do, there's a lot of my clients who will send me a picture every single night of their supplements and their lunch for the next day. They will just send it just for that little bit of accountability. I'll
Yep.
never message like, hey, you need to send me this picture because
Yes.
it would be so stressful to have someone contact
Yeah. It's like, oh
you.
shit. Well, it makes it work, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they will send the pictures to be like, 10 days in a row I've done this, 11 days, like, and it's that side. Like, so to me, I have people sometimes who sign up and apart from a check-in, like, I don't hear from them. And even
Yeah.
though they'll still get all right results, they don't get those saying like next level results you want because
Mhm.
it's the chatting all the time. That's the
Yeah.
biggest one. Like the more we're chatting, the more we're talking, the
Well, it's
better.
almost like you texting them back is also like, oh, at the end of the day, you see a text from you, you're like, oh, that's my gym reminder almost. It's not
Yeah,
like you're
yeah,
saying go work out. It's like, okay, now this is where I start the second part of my day. So I
yeah,
think like you almost need to think of your day as three chunks.
yeah.
Like the time you relax, the time you work and plan, the time you work out. Like I think that needs to be the way you like plan your 16 hours of being awake. But again, but so a couple things there as well, because even for myself over the years, like I'll notice I kind of fluctuate from like 205, so 205 pounds to like 225. I can kind of go back and forth. It's almost like when the winter comes, I'm almost like you're bogged down with like end of semester. You've got the report cards, you've got the marking. It's like I'm going out because Starbucks has their holiday drinks on. And I'm getting my double espresso. That's probably 500 calories. And it's just like, it just starts to add up without you even realizing. And like I'll look at pictures of even just like a few months before. I'm like, whoa, I did not look great then.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, especially in those crunch times, there's like a lot of peer pressure to let yourself go, if that makes sense. It's almost like, no, we're in this together to like cross the finish line and we're all going to go in this direction where it's like, you're not really allowed to be happy and enjoy yourself. It's like, we need to finish this work together or else you're not being a good enough teacher.
Yeah, and I do completely agree. I think in teaching, like everything is food, isn't it? So if you're having a
Yeah.
tough day, so go and bring you a slice of cake from the staff room,
Yeah.
or
It's like,
like
yes.
like it's just some type of treat.
Yeah.
If you're having a good day, someone will go and
Mhm.
get some treats to celebrate. On a Friday, someone will go out and get food for everyone, like get everyone's
Yeah.
orders, like a Fat Friday, you
Coffee and
could call
donuts is
it. All
classic.
these
Yeah.
sort like so it is very food related, and I think
Yeah.
ironically the best way I found with teachers for them to stop it is to give yourself the permission to have it.
Yeah.
So almost working on that like opposite idea of it.
Yeah.
And it come from me to just kind of be like, we chat about it and we'll talk about it. And I found it works massively well for them and it used to work massively well for me,
Yeah.
was rather than saying like, you can't have it,
Yeah.
tell yourself, do you know what? I can have whatever I want.
Yep.
And with that, it makes you think about it more. And the fact that you give yourself permission to have it means
Mhm.
one, you're not going to completely binge on it. Because, like we were talking about the
Yeah.
gym, it's like you haven't ruined it by having a donut.
Yeah.
I think one of the troubles that people will do is they will pick a gym for convenience
Hmm.
rather than the rest of it. So they
Okay.
will just look and go, that gym is close, so I will go to that gym. But actually, you should actually, obviously, the distance has got to be in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But I travel past 4 gyms to go to the gym that I go to because I like I like the environment in there. And I've been a part of other gyms which I haven't liked the part of the like environment, and then I haven't went. And I know even there's some like there's a gym quite close to me. Like it's got without doubt the best equipment, not just in our city, probably in the UK. Like he
Hmm.
invests a hell of a lot in his equipment. It's really good. It's
Hmm.
closer than my gym and everything on paper. I
Yeah.
should be going to that gym. I joined that gym and it's a very kind, as you're saying, like masculine,
Like
steroid.
steroids are
Yeah.
flowing. Yeah.
And,
Needles are
and,
in the changer. Like, whoa.
and I've never once in my life thought about going on steroids. I'm very
Yeah.
much like, doesn't appeal to me. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean I spent about a month in that gym and was kind of like, hmm,
Next. Yeah.
no, but more like, should I? And then
Oh, okay.
like,
Yeah.
I was like, why am I even thinking about that? Like, I've been training for 10 years. I'm pretty
Yeah.
strong. What? And I realized I was in an environment where I'm not bothered about how much I lift and how much someone else lifts. And
No,
it's
no.
always
But
just
it's like a
me.
weird peer awareness
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
But I knew in that gym, I was I was having to like take the weights off everything and I was having to lower everything. And I felt
Wow.
really small in there. And I was like, it's because they're all on steroids. Maybe I should go on steroids. And I thought, no, like I'll just leave and go to a different environment.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing for me. I think if you're worried about that if someone's worried about that with the gym, it should be, right, let me look at the gyms in the area and see which one fits me right. Because like there is literally, so I walk to the gym, it's like 3 miles away. It takes me an hour. I love
Okay.
it. I
Yeah.
walk to the gym and I walk back. They say I walk past 4 gyms. There is actually a gym at the end of my road, which like would take me 5 minutes to walk to. And the
Yeah.
reason I don't go to that one is it's small, it's cramped, it hasn't got the stuff I need in it. And it's that
Yeah.
thing of like the easy solution would just be for me to join that gym, but then I'd
Hmm.
start going less because I get frustrated when I was there because I couldn't do stuff and people would be taking
Yeah.
stuff up and everything like that. Or I can go to this other gym, which I like. It's really good. I never have a trouble getting on anything. I know a few people in there to say hello to, and it's a really nice environment.
Yeah.
So it's that thing for me. I think a little bit like every school, a little bit like every shopping mall, a little bit like everything. Like
Yeah. That's true. I
there's
didn't
going
think
to be
about like what
different
you'd look for in
environments,
a gym.
and it's going in and looking at them and going, oh yeah, like so many people will sign up to a gym. Like they'll go, right, I'm joining the gym, I'm doing it, I'm joining this one, and they will
Hmm.
sign up online before even going in the gym.
Or yeah.
Who why would you do that with
Yeah, and
anything
most
that
gyms have
you're
like a 3-day like trial or something. It's
yeah, yeah,
usually if you ask, they'll give you something, even if you don't want to like pay for it. I mean,
that's
like
it.
obviously you can pay $10 to work out anywhere pretty much, but if you ask like, hey, do you have a week trial? I'm just checking out gyms. They'll usually have coupons you can use for the
That's
most
it.
part.
And I
I drink greens with lemon juice in them throughout the morning. I find that's really helped me like not get hungry throughout the day. Because I know if some people will drink like fat burner and stuff to as like a hunger repellent, but this is like another non-caffeine. Like I
yeah,
guess if you were to say like I would say if I had to take two supplements, it would just be protein powder and greens. Like those are
yeah.
just the two things that I'm like, you know what? Like pre-workout, yeah, you can have a cup of coffee before you work out. Like different things that I would change. But I guess how would you respond to that? Like what are some like the main teacher supplements? Like don't overthink it with the creatine and the
Mhm.
L-carnitine and all these things that you can use. Like what are your kind of
See,
growing corn supplements?
yeah, see, the only funny enough, you mentioned it, the only one which I recommend to everyone to have is creatine. And that's just simply
Okay.
because it's like it always makes me laugh. So with 99% of supplements, like the BCAs and everything,
Yeah.
they, when you actually look at the studies of them, like they don't do that much and they
Yes.
cost a lot of
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Creatine, when it first came out, like way, way back, they had
Yeah.
no idea really what it did, but they knew it
Hmm.
kind of did something. They thought it just hydrated the muscles. So they were like,
Yeah.
oh, let's knock that
It's
out. Super
like the
cheap.
ATP edition.
Yeah.
Like I remember. Yeah. Yeah.
But as they've done it, they've done more and more tests on it. And it does so much. So obviously it helps your muscles grow because it helps keep them hydrated, which is super important.
Hmm.
But as well, one of the biggest muscles we have is our brain. So it helps keep our brain hydrated, which helps our mental health, which makes us feel good. And
Interesting.
they've shown with it as well now, like the latest kind of studies have shown as well, like Alzheimer's. It can't stop Alzheimer's. Like if someone's got Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
like
Like
it
don't
can't
just
do
start
anything.
getting in the gym and like it's
Yeah,
gonna go away.
but people who take creatine, like say at like our age, are
Hmm.
less likely to have it because you're providing your brain with like the supplements and nutrients that it needs and the
Yep.
hydration. So like to me, it's like it's this one tiny powder that you can take every day, and it will help keep you hydrated. It will help your mental health, and long term, it will help you just massively as well. So that's the only one I ever say to anyone like that's a must take creatine. But there's loads of
Mm.
other stuff, and I think for everything else, it all depends on you. So,
Yep.
like greens are great, but obviously the best thing to do
Is
is
eat
just
vegetables.
eat vegetables.
Yes.
So it's like that thing of like,
Yep.
if you do struggle to eat the vegetables or get them in as much, but you just want to make sure that you get it, greens can be great. But
Yep.
creatine is the only supplement that I know of where you could technically like eat more meat.
With the whole world listening and you could change one thing about the education system, what would it be?
I think for me, my biggest one would be just getting rid of any marking,
Yeah.
anything going in the books. I would get rid of.
Yep.
There's every study shows it has no effect, and all it seems is that the ones at the top go, "Oh, that means like we should double
Yep.
down." And I always remember that always sticks in my mind from a staff meeting or like head principal. He was there. He was like, right, this is how we're going to do this. This is the new policy we're going to introduce. You know, you've got to write two good things. You've got to write one thing that the child can improve on. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. You've got to do all this. And I always remember like our year one teacher, so like first grade, it'll be for you. She went, oh, do I need to do this? And he was like, yeah, it's a school policy. Why wouldn't you need to do it? And she said, oh, they can't read yet. So
They
I,
can't read their feedback.
yeah. And he was like, oh,
That's a good
um,
point.
yeah. And if she wouldn't have said that, she would have had to
He
do that like everyone else.
yes.
And to me,
Yeah.
that's the biggest one. I think. Imagine taking all the marking away and just saying, right, okay, do you know what? The last hour of every day is just going to be, teacher gets the books, sits with the kids, and goes, okay, like this and that, and
Yeah.
has little chats, 5-10 minute chat a week.
Yeah.
It'd be
Verbal
something positive.
feedback is so much more useful.
Yeah, and
Like
how
even
much
in
time it'd save.
uh well, like I used to, again, maybe like a side tip, and maybe this isn't the best way, but I'm like, you know what? Why would you not use the time that your whole class is there to give feedback to your class? That doesn't even make sense. Like, why does there need to be this like lesson that has this question and this outcome? It's like, you know what? Today, like, I would kind of give like a review task, and I
Yeah,
would like for essays, and I'm like, you know what? I'm here. If you want to talk about your essay, we'll talk about it. Usually 90% of kids are okay with their mark. They're like, okay, that's kind of where I thought I would be. And maybe you have a couple things like I'd post exemplars of like what 100 was, an 80 or a 60, that kind of thing. But then you got your 6 or 7 students that they'll come and line up and talk to you, and you kind of
yeah.
take your hour and you have those conversations, and you're building the connection, and you're actually
Oh,
giving useful feedback. So that's something I thought was huge. And like, I think report cards to me 3 times a
oh,
year
yeah.
is so unnecessary. Like AI is taking over most of it now, anyways. I don't even see like the utility in it quite as much anymore. So it's just little things that I totally agree. Just kind of sandbag the teachers for no reason.
It's so much like I remember in maths when I was teaching about 3 or 4 years in. I know it sounds stupid, but I just could not be bothered marking the maths books anymore. So I sat down one weekend and was like, come on, like there's got to be a way around this. So
Yes.
I sat all the kids down in my class and was like, right, the maths I'm about to give you, I am going to put the answers to it in the middle of it. I don't care how many you get right. You're not going to get a reward for getting every single one right. This is about us speeding up your learning. I said,
Yeah.
once you've answered 10 questions, mark them. If you get them all right, skip the rest and go on to the harder ones. If you get 10 right, skip them, go on to the harder ones. I said, if you get
But anyway, Martin Malone, I guess final thing, what's your bench, bro?
what's the end? What will it be? So it's 130 kg is what I lift. So what's
Okay.
that?
That's like 275, maybe close to
Yeah.
300. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. So 286.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
aiming. I'm aiming for like 330, 150 kg. That's what I want.
Yeah.
But I'm a big believer in like not one rep max. So
No, that's just like
yeah,
my
so that's for 4. So I do mine. So which has worked really well with all my biggest ones. Is I like kind of almost warming up into it. So I will do 10 reps, 8 reps, 6 reps, 4 reps. So the 10 will be like a lighter weight, and then I'll put a little bit of weight on. And it's kind of one of them, if it goes up and it goes, then the next time it goes up and up and up. But with my bench, even though it used to, when I was going at like 7 p.m. at night to train, I had someone with me. Now I just train by myself because it's like middle of the morning. And I'm not brave enough to put that much weight on until I know I can 100% do it. So I'm getting comfortable on the 130. Then I'll go to 132.5.
That's good.
Keep building up. But I love a good bench press.
No, I still have my. I can hit 225 for a few now. I back in the younger days, I could do it for quite a few more reps, but still, that's like my what's the word I'm looking for? Like my bro rite of passage is I can still bench 2 plates. That's kind of my thing. But anyway, Martin Malone, this was an absolute pleasure, man.
Oh, no,
thank you so much for coming on.
Really enjoyed it.